Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here today. Welcome to our presentation titled, Navigating the Narcissist's Game. Today, we'll explore what it feels like to be in a relationship with a narcissist, using the metaphor of a high-stakes poker game. We'll discuss how their unpredictable behavior can keep you on edge, and I'll share some insights on how to recognize and cope with these dynamics. I'm glad you're here. Let's get started. When control slips, that's really the turning point in the dynamic with a narcissist. It's at this moment that they start to realize their usual tactics aren't working as effectively anymore. So, what do? They often reach for a new set of strategies to try and regain that sense of control. And trust me, they rarely accept defeat quietly. If they see that you're stronger or more aware of their tricks, they'll escalate or switch tactics. Today, I want to break down 7 common moves narcissists make when they sense they're losing their grip. These are their go-to responses, and understanding them helps you stay one step ahead. First, they might start to downplay your strengths, trying to make you doubt your own abilities. Next, they might make you feel unworthy, questioning your value to weaken your confidence. They often switch tactics entirely, shifting their approach to keep you off balance. They'll also try to make you doubt your perceptions or memories, rewriting history to fit their narrative. Sometimes, they double down on control, becoming even more manipulative and intrusive. Isolation is another tactic, cutting you off from others to increase dependence on them. All of these moves are designed to destabilize you and reassert their dominance. Recognizing these patterns is key to protecting yourself and maintaining your boundaries. Let's talk about tactic 1, downplaying your strengths and their weaknesses. When you start to stand in your independence, narcissists often try to minimize what you're good at. They might say things like, "You think you're smart, but you're not as clever as you believe," or "Sure, you're good at your job, but you'll never play at my level." The reason they do this is because once you recognize your true power, you become immune to their manipulation. By belittling your strengths, they hope to shrink your self-confidence and keep you from seeing your worth clearly. At the same time, they tend to downplay or even deny their own weaknesses. If you confront them about their abusive behavior, they might respond with, "Nobody's perfect," or "You have just as many flaws as I do." Acknowledging their faults would mean giving up control, and that's something narcissists absolutely refuse to do. So, understanding this tactic helps us see through their attempts to undermine us and keep us from standing firm in our independence. Let's talk about tactic 2, making you feel unworthy. One common strategy narcissists use is convincing you that no one else would tolerate you. They might say things like, "You're lucky I'm patient enough to stay with you," or "No one else would want someone so needy." The idea here is to make you feel like you're unworthy of love or support. And if direct attacks don't work, they often turn to gossip, spreading rumors to friends and family that you're unstable, difficult, or even crazy. This is all about weakening your support system. By doing so, they aim to isolate you further, making you more dependent on them. This tactic feeds into the overall theme of emotional manipulation, making you doubt yourself so they can maintain control. Let's talk about tactic 3, abruptly switching tactics. Narcissists are like emotional chameleons. They're able to adapt their behavior to suit their needs. When the initial love bombing and charm no longer have the desired effect, they pivot drastically. Suddenly, the admiration you once felt from them shifts into contempt. You might notice them starting unnecessary fights or withdrawing affection completely, giving you the silent treatment. They might act aloof or disinterested, hoping that you'll chase after their attention to get things back to how they were. This switch is not random. It's a calculated move to destabilize you emotionally. If you find yourself feeling confused or desperately trying to regain the person they first appeared to be, that's exactly what they want. When they see you chasing that initial version of themselves, they've regained the upper hand in the dynamic. It's a tactic to keep you off balance and maintain control. Let's talk about tactic 4, making you doubt your strength. Narcissists are really skilled at finding your insecurities and then pressing on them relentlessly. They might say things like, "Are you sure you can handle that?" Or, "You pretend to be strong, but I know you're weak inside." These comments are a form of gaslighting, but it's gaslighting with surgical precision. The goal is to make you second-guess your own abilities, which makes it easier for them to reassert control over you. But here, the key point, remember that your strength is actually what threatens them. If you weren't powerful, they wouldn't feel the need to work so hard to convince you otherwise. So, this tactic is really about trying to undermine your confidence, because your confidence is what stands in the way of their control. Recognizing this can help you stay grounded and resist their attempts to make you doubt yourself. Now, let's talk about Tactic 5, doubling down on control. At their core, narcissists crave power. They want to feel in control of everything, especially of you. When they sense that their power is slipping, they often escalate their behavior. This can mean becoming more aggressive or intimidating, trying to assert dominance through words or actions. You'll also notice them oscillating between extremes, sometimes saying, "I love you" to pull you in, and then suddenly cruelly rejecting you to punish or manipulate. Another common tactic is withholding affection, giving you just enough to keep you hooked, but holding back until you beg for their attention. This entire tug-of-war is really designed to wear you down, to break down your defenses so you submit to their control. But the key here, and the antidote to this manipulation, is awareness. When you recognize these patterns and resist their attempts to manipulate you, you start reclaiming your power. Every time you stand your ground and refuse to be pulled into their game, you're taking back a piece of your strength and independence. That's the core message here. Staying aware and resisting their control tactics is how you maintain your power and protect yourself. Now, let's talk about Tactic 6, isolating you from your support system. Your strength often comes from the people who love and support you, your friends, family, and community. The narcissist knows this well, and they see it as a threat to their control. So, to cut off that source of empowerment, they might try to convince you that your friends are bad influences, or tell you that your family doesn't really understand you. They might even stir up conflict by spreading lies or twisting stories to create distrust. Isolation is a powerful weapon because when you're cut off from your support system, it becomes much harder to see the situation clearly or seek help. But here's an important red flag to remember. If someone is trying to separate you from everyone else in your life, their goal isn't really love or care, it's control. Understanding this tactic helps us recognize manipulation and protect our connections with those who truly support us. All right, now let's talk about Tactic 7, rewriting history. When all else fails, narcissists will try to rewrite the story itself. They're quite skilled at selectively editing past events to serve their narrative. This can mean removing any evidence of their abusive behavior, painting themselves in a better light. They might also add exaggerated or even completely fabricated details, portraying you as the problem instead. What's really striking is how convincingly they retell these stories, sometimes with such conviction that others, and even themselves, start to believe the version they're pushing. This tactic often feeds into smear campaigns, where they cast themselves as the victim and frame you as the aggressor. It's disorienting, no doubt, but the most effective response is to stand firm in your truth and integrity. Over time, reality tends to speak louder than lies. Remember, their rewriting of history doesn't change what actually happened, it just tries to distort perception. Staying grounded in your truth is key to overcoming this tactic. Final thoughts, reclaiming your power. Every move a narcissist makes after losing control has one goal: to regain power. Whether they're belittling, gaslighting, isolating, or rewriting history, the pattern is always the same: manipulation designed to pull you back under their influence. But here, the key point, the fact that they have to resort to these tactics actually says something important. It means you've grown stronger. You've seen through their illusions, recognized your worth, and reclaimed control over your own life. Think of this as a poker game. You hold the winning hand. And the more you play with awareness, set boundaries, and maintain self-respect, the less power the narcissist has over you. So remember, your strength comes from understanding their tactics and refusing to be pulled back into their game. Reclaim your power, stand firm, and keep moving forward.